Would Hazur kindly let us know when we say our prayers in congregation outside a mosque, for example in a house or at a picnic, whether a call for prayer, that is Adhan, is necessary, optional or not necessary at all before prayer?
Adhan should be called as Sunnah, but it is not necessary to the extent that without a call for prayer, no namaz in congregation can be held. It can be held. The fact is that the system of congregation came into effect much earlier than the call for Adhan, the call for prayer, that is Adhan. That happened much later during the Medina period. So people have been saying namaz without Adhan before, and again it is only for the convenience of those who can hear and come. Those who have already gathered together, Adhan does not add anything to the quality of their prayer. It is only to let people know how about the time of the prayer, and the prayer is ready to be said. So if you say iqamat before the prayer, that is a substitute for the Adhan in fact. So your prayer will be complete. There is no doubt about it. But if you can say Adhan, why not? That is the question. If you can further beautify your prayer and say Adhan, maybe some caller listens to it and comes for the prayer. Even if you know that nobody can listen to your call and nobody would attend to it, nobody stands in need of such a call, even then just to hear Adhan is so beautiful an experience. It's a spiritual motivating experience that it should be said. Unless you are in Pakistan, that is different. There they don't like it. For instance, during the Sikh days, the Maharaja Ranjit Singh behaved more sensibly than some Muslims behave today. What happened there was that previous to Maharaja Ranjit Singh's rule, the Sikhs took exception to the call for prayer by the Muslims, as some Muslims of today are taking exception to the call for prayer by Ahmadis. They are putting themselves in exactly the same boots as the Sikhs of that time did against the Muslims. So they are treating us as the Muslims and treating themselves as non-Muslims, taking exception to saying of Adhan. But anyway, I am talking of the dark ages of Sikhism. When Maharaja Ranjit Singh came and established his rule and also established the concept of justice as he understood, during his time some Sikh delegations again tried to stop Muslims from saying Adhan. But because the chaos had been turned into order during his regime and the Sikhs began to fear his wrath, so they did not take law into their own hands as they previously did. So they approached Maharaja Ranjit Singh and requested him to stop Muslims from calling Adhan. Now he was a very intelligent man, although he was absolutely unlettered. Yet he was one of the wisest rulers that the Sikhs have ever had. So he innocently, he knew everything about Adhan. He had his chief minister was a Muslim, Fakir Azizdin. So he said, "What, Fakir Sahib, why do you say Adhan? And why do they object?" He said, "Ask them, why do they object?" So the Sikhs answered in Punjabi that when he says Adhan, asi bange jane hain. Bangladesh is something very interesting, Our food and children and everything in the house is Bangladesh, which means that the Adhan has some magical influence over us, and it enters into us and does something to us. So that is what we object to. So Maharaja Sahib turned to Fakir Azizuddin and said, Fakir Sahib, why do you insist on when the Sikhs are Bangladesh? Why do you insist on this? So Fakir Sahib said, Maharaja, the point is that there are fixed times for prayer, for congregation. And when we say prayer in congregation, then we have to send out either messengers to every house or to call for a prayer. That is the reason why we do it. Even without prayer, without call for prayer, according to him as well, a congregational prayer could be said. But the point is that we will have to send messengers to every house to inform them that the time of prayer has come. So Maharaja Sahib very innocently turned to the Sikhs, so the issue is settled. From now on I issue order that no Muslim would make a call for the prayer. And also, as a second part of the order, I order all Sikhs of those particular villages to be responsible 5 times a day to knock at every door and let the Muslims know that the time of their prayer has come. That was the concept of justice in the Sikh days. Compare this concept with the concept of justice of today. So after a few days, all the Sikh elders came with hands, jorna, as we say, clapped, put together. Like, for God's sake, Maharaja, tell the Muslims to call Adhan. Enough is enough. So this is the significance of Adhan, and but not understood by everybody. So Rashid said, second one? Second part?
Only 1 minute.
Yes. Against the agreement between you and Mr. Rashid, Mr. Abdul Rashid,
Not new thing, it's the same continuation.
Yes, that's right. That is of course permissible. You can continue as long as you please.
Huzur in hurry, I left one line which was important also in some respect.
From the letter you mean?
Yes, the last line I omitted. I read the last sentence only.
Okay.
आपकी किताब वर्ड ऑफ अल्लाह बहुत शानदार है, तोहफा कादिरी शुक्रिया, मैं अच्छा हूँ। भाभी साहबा और बच्चों को अस्सलाम वालेकुम, आपका भाई फजल।
That you have read.
No, भाभी साहबा, I thought I forgot. Because if I go home,
after you leave such an important thing,
I
how to leave such an important thing as Bhabhi Sahaba, of course not.
Pakistan is also hearing and he was afraid that why you are mentioned by name.
You know the family so well. Thank you so much for bringing cheers to the whole gathering. Jazakumullah. Now Rashid,